Hey everybody, blessings, welcome to the channel. I'm Dane, your host. Hope you're doing well wherever you may find yourselves, and welcome to another Faceoff Friday where I pit two albums from the same band or two albums from two different bands or artists to discuss which of the two is better, and as I like to say, which of the two reigns supreme. Today I'm doing the Scorpions, two seminal works in my opinion, Blackout, and then the follow-up. Cover this up real quick for obvious reasons. Love at First Sting. Cool pun of an album cover. Both of them produced by Dieter Dierks, and 1982 is this one, and 2 years later, 1984, this one. So both of these coming out in high school. Little brief history here or anecdote. I discovered the Scorpions in high school when Blackout came out, and so this is my first album by them. And then Loved at First Sting, I do believe I take that back. Then I went back through the previous part of the discography and started collecting various LPs. I think the next one was Animal Magnetism, and then Love Drive, you name it, and then everything through and including Fly to the Rainbow, with the exception of the debut, which I was late to. I would say I didn't get that until probably my mid to late 20s. I had heard it, but I never bought it until then. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to do these by the numbers, but I will tell you now that the album I like better is due to just my gut feeling, but I will show you how I feel going by the numbers. So let's get started with Blackout. The first song is, of course, the title track. Okay. The gentleman on the cover also makes his appearance in the third track, but we'll get to that. So the title track, Blackout, I think is a 10 out of 10. It's just shy of 4 minutes long, and it's a nice, heavy song. It's a little repetitive from Klaus, but I do like it. And I love the glass shattering at the end and the final, collapse, if you will, of the song. If you want to call it a resolution, I'm literary minded since I teach English, but it is a very good song, and I give it a 10 out of 10. It's the heaviness that when you want a heavy song from the Scorpions, this is what you expect from them. Repetitiveness in the chorus side. Okay, next is Can't Live Without You. That also is very repetitive in the chorus. I can't live without you. Right? I give that an 8 out of 10. It's a good song, not great, but I do like it. Most of the time, I will listen to this album from start to finish. Most of the time, and that brings us to the third track, No One Like You. Again, this gentleman appears in the video. I'm not sure what's going on with the album cover. I always wondered, are the forks in the eyes an example of what a scorpion looks like up close if you look at its eyes? I don't know. That's something I always wondered. I'm not sure why that ever popped in my head, but that's what that makes me think of. Anyway, makes you think of Insane Asylum, makes you think of Alice Cooper from the inside, the lunatic on the cover, so to speak. But what a great song. It's heavy because of the guitar solo and some other parts that are the staples of the song, or the elements rather, but it's also a ballad, so it's a monster or a power ballad. It's just, my dad even liked this song. There was the video from MTV, and as silly as it is, again, with this guy, but what a great song. One of my favorite songs from them, if not my favorite. It is my favorite song. I'll go ahead and admit it. Who am I kidding? And this is the first song I ever heard from the Scorpions, and that's where I began to explore and discover more of their stuff. I really sunk my teeth into this band once I heard that song and got the album on vinyl. I remember getting on the bus after high school with my allowance and going to pick it out by my lonesome, and then showing to mom what I got, right? So just a cool history, MTV age, and this is back in the day when the Scorpions, Iron Maiden, and Judas Priest were my favorite three heavy metal bands. All right, next, You Give Me All I Need. 10 out of 10. Great ballad. Love this song. It's very powerful. It resonates with me. I can relate to that. Next is the fun Now! Exclamation point, right? Very short, 2 minutes, 33 seconds. A lot of now, right? Now, right? Great song. Not a great song, but a very good song. I give this 8 out of 10. It's a fun song. I like it. Next is Dynamite. I give this also an 8 out of 10. Also a bit repetitive in the chorus, but I do find myself wanting to hear the song quite a lot when I'm in the mood to listen to the Scorpions, one of my favorite bands of all time. Definitely top 50, I would argue. More on that later. And then we get to the wonderful Arizona. 8 out of 10. I love the opening part. You have the Led Zeppelin-esque moment at the beginning where you hear the guitar in one channel, then it pops up in the other, right, back and forth, and then you really get into it. It's a really cool song, 8 out of 10. Love the song. It's a cool video for that. Next is the almost epic track, because it's almost 7 minutes long, China White, which is a weird title for the song. China White is a euphemism for, some will argue cocaine, some will argue heroin. Either way, the song has nothing to do with drugs, because it's about how we need love in the world, and if we're not careful, the world's going to blow up because of nuclear weapons. Very thematically speaking, thrash metal, but it's not a thrash metal song. Very odd sounding guitar solo, but I like it. I think this is a 9 out of 10. Really cool, really wonderful song. And finally, to close the album, you get When the Smoke is Going Down. I love me the song. Great power ballad. Goosepimply type album, a song. Sometimes I'd like No One Like You. I feel the need rather to play this song first, or No One Like You, skip to this song, and then maybe play the rest of the album, or maybe move on to something else. But what an album. Many have argued this is their magnum opus. I used to feel that way, but Love Drive is my favorite. This is, I believe, my second. All right, so let's move on to the follow-up. Took 2 years later, also still in the MTV age. So this is 1984. So I think I'm a freshman when this comes out. And then 84, sophomore when this came out. So first song, Bad Boys Running Wild, 10 out of 10. I remember, I think it's around the same time, Duran Duran has their song Bad Boys, which I think is their best song, along with maybe the Reflex. Not the biggest. Oh, I take that back. My favorite Duran Duran song is Say a Prayer. What a great song. So, not the biggest Duran Duran fan, but I do appreciate them in many ways. One of the cool pop bands from the 80s, up to a point. But anyway, back to Bad Boys Running Wild. What a great song. Wanting to be cool. I really liked the song at the time, and I still love it now. Because when you're a teenager, you want to be cool, you want to fit in, you want to wear the leather jackets, you want the young ladies to be attracted to you because you look tough and that kind of thing. And of course, at the time, we're reading The Outsiders, which coincides with that desire to be wanted by the ladies, that kind of thing. So cool. Bad Boys Running Wild, a 10 out of 10. Next, Rock You Like a Hurricane. What a great, iconic opening riff. 10 out of 10 for me. Song never gets old for me. What a great song. Just a staple in their live set, right? I'm Leaving You, number 3. Catchy song. 9 out of 10 for me. I'm leaving you, I've got to go. I can't stay, right? Great song. It's the typical cliched. I gotta leave in the morning, babe. Think Freebird. Think, there's so many songs, right? Great song. Living After Midnight, Judas Priest, right? Coming Home, number 4, 10 out of 10. About being on the road, another cliched type song. Think Turn the Page by Bob Seger. Yet cliched, but it's good. Great song about, coming home and get to spend time with family. Wonderful song. The Same Thrill, number 5. A Little Falling Off, 8 out of 10. It's a good song. It's not great. A little bit repetitive. I think the same thrill would fit a little bit better on the Blackout album. Big City Nights, number 6, 10 out of 10. Great song to sing to. Another video on MTV. Great opening hook. Something about it is like a Bad Boys Running Wild Part 2 in a way. Not quite, but thereabouts. It's a earworm or a brainworm. Once you hear it, you want to hear it again. You want to hear it again. It gets stuck with you for days. What a great song. 10 out of 10. Big City Nights. Okay, I know I can't sing, but there you go. All right. Number 7. As Soon as the Good Times Roll. 7 out of 10. I like it, but I don't love it. Crossfire. Very similar to thematically thematically, Crossfire is very similar to China White. I appreciate that. But musically, I just give it a 7 out of 10. It's an okay song. And then finally we get to what's interesting about both of these albums. They both have 9 tracks. Still Loving You. 11 out of 10, folks. Almost 6.5 minutes. And wonderful power ballad. Moving, sweeping guitar solo. Mattias and Rudolph are just fabulous here. The whole band is. Hey, Bowie. Bowie's got a case of the zoomies, folks. So if you hear him meowing, he's just excited to see me because I came home from work and wants my affection and attention. But Still Loving You is just wonderful. Wanting to be loved, or, focusing on, telling someone how much you love them. It's not going to go away. We can relate to that, right? It's part of the human condition. Talk about that in my English class to a little bit degree. And although it doesn't sound like Kiss's I Still Love You, similar message or the same message. And it's unclear here if the relationship is still going on, where in the Kiss song, the relationship has ended and Paul is trying to convince his beloved, to stay. So anyway, Still Loving You, wonderful song, 11 out of 10. So if you do this by the numbers, Blackout gets a 9.2 and Love at First Sting gets a 9.1. So they're close. But even before I did it by numbers, my gut tells me this is my favorite of the two. This is the one that reigned supreme. This is a little bit more nostalgia with me, I guess, because it's my first Scorpions album, that kind of thing. And when I listen to this, what's wonderful about both of these albums is that both of these take me back. When I listen to them, I'm 14 or 15 again. And music, as we know, from a psychological and cultural standpoint and sociological standpoint, mostly psychological, is that there's a link between music and memory. And probably the greatest album that takes me back where I'm 14 again is Rush's Moving Pictures, but that's another story. So, folks, tell me in the comment section what you think. Which of the two is your favorite? Is it Blackout or is it Love at First Sting? I think Love at First Sting is a little bit more commercial than this, although this is commercial quite a bit as well. But you have Blackout and China White, which are the heaviest tracks on here. Here, you have some heavy stuff, but nothing on here is as heavy as the two tracks I mentioned here. So anyway, now let me just tell you about some upcoming videos. This weekend, I hope to do my farewell and thank you to the band Uriah Heep. They're on their farewell tour, or they're about to begin their farewell tour. So I'd like to give a shout out to the band and talk about the band, a little brief history, and my love of the band and that kind of thing. And I've been talking about them lately with the lot and stuff and what have you. And I'll talk about the best part of their discography, and I'll talk about which versions of their CDs to get, that kind of thing. So I hope you look forward to that. And then I'm also going to do a reaction video this week. Classic Rock, the website / magazine, did a top 50 bands of all time, and it got my head in a swirl, sort of. So I'm gonna react to that and talk about where I agree with the list and where I disagree, and I will talk about bands I think don't belong and talk about bands I think that should go in there. And again, it's all subjective. I may do my own top 50 as, what's my version. But for this video, I'm not going to rank them. I'm just going to show you these are the bands I think belong, but I'm not sure where they go. And then later down the line, I may not, but I may do my top 50. And I already have a video of my top 10 favorite bands, and that has not changed, but I can include that as well. And then finally, I'm thinking about doing I'm thinking about doing a series or add to my channel where I talk about gear. I'm still sitting on the fence about that. So very quickly, I'm not going to sit in front of the camera and play my bass guitar or play my bass guitar and show you how certain pedals work and what let's say I talk about a pedal. I'm just going to talk about, do I like it, do I not like it, how it works, that kind of thing, but I'm not going to plug it in. And I have a love-hate relationship with these videos because when someone talks about a pedal, they either talk too much or they don't talk enough. And then the real problem is when you listen and watch these videos, 99.9% of the time, they don't tell you what cabinet they have or what combo amp they have or what the setup is, what the rig is, what their pedals are on the pedal board in combination. And so, like, for example, if you take, I don't know, the Distortion DS1 box, Stomp box, and someone plays it, it sounds great, and then someone else plays it, it sounds awful. So I may just, and nothing will be a paid promotion, because I don't do that, but I don't believe in that. But so I may be talking about gear. My representative at Sweetwater called me 2 days ago because I ordered some pedals that I'm excited to get. I'm getting them tomorrow, yay! And he also let me know that the Rickenbacker that my bass guitar that has been a dream bass of mine to get may be coming in sooner than thought. Originally I thought it was going to be May, and now he's saying January or December. So I may do a video on that and show you, not to show off, but just to talk about, if you're a Rickenbacker fan, hey, this may be the bass for you, and talk about, what the setup is and how it works and that kind of thing. So let me know in the comments, is this something you're interested in? Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. Bye.